concept of hell. Yeah, we're stuck in it.
Yeah.
We're going to get out.
That's what we're saying.
Well, here's more on the concept of hell. We need to speak about hell one more time because people are so afraid of going to hell. However, hell is not what most churches and religions say it is. While the word hell appears in the Bible, the true meaning of what hell is has been obscured and twisted by Greek philosophy and early church leaders. The word hell is an archaic rendition of the Hebrew word Sheol and the Greek word Hades. They appear in the earliest Bible writings that we have today. These words rendered into modern language would read the grave or under the ground, Sheol, or the place or location of the dead, Hades. Nothing about a place of eternal punishment. The word hell itself was derived from the Latin inferno, which is defined as of or relating to a netherworld, or a place of the dead, hell. It has no relation to the English word inferno. Hell is not an English word per se. It comes from the Germanic and Norse languages and beliefs. Jesus and the apostles taught that death is like sleep followed by a resurrection. The early church leaders believed that death is sleep followed by a resurrection. They are taught that the resurrected, unrepentant wicked are destroyed forever, as if being totally consumed in a fire. Their punishment was to be annihilation. These leaders did not teach of an immortal soul to be tortured by fire for eternity. By the middle of the 2nd century, some of the church leaders began to incorporate Greek philosophies into Bible teachings. This diluted and, in some cases, contradicted what Jesus and the apostles taught. And it was Athenagoras, who lived between 133 and 190 AD, a professed Christian and a church leader, but whose teachings, according to the Encyclopedia Britannica, were heavily influenced by Plato's philosophies. He introduced Plato's teachings of an immortal soul into Christianity. In doing so, he opened the way for the adoption of Plato's argument of eternal punishment for immortal, sinful souls. This was 100 years after the apostles and came straight from Greek philosophy. It was not taught by Jesus or the apostles. Hell is the grave, nothing else. Ecclesiastes 9:5. For the living know that they will die, but the dead know nothing, and they have no more reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. Ecclesiastes 9:10. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with your might, for there is no work or device or knowledge or wisdom in the grave where you are going. And in John 5:28 and 9, say, do not marvel at this, for the hour is coming in which all who are in the graves will hear his voice and come forth. Revelations 20:14 and 15. Then death and hell were thrown into the lake of fire. The lake of fire is the second death. Anyone whose name was not found written in the book of life was thrown into the lake of fire. These verses are very problematic for hellfire believers and teachers, because death and hell are inanimate things which cannot be tortured by fire or anything else. If hell and the lake of fire are the same thing, how can hell be thrown into itself and die? Now there are those who still may insist hell is a place of eternal torture by fire. I believe this slanders God as being an evil and vindictive being who would torture people for eternity for doing something that they just seem to not be able to prevent doing. The Bible states that the wages of sin is death, not eternal punishment in fire. When it comes to the Bible, there are hundreds of interpretations of what it states. I have cited scripture from the Bible to support my comments, which are objectively based on what the scriptures themselves say to me. And of course, if you don't agree, that's okay. You just go ahead and worry about hell all you want. Don't want to take nothing from you.